wasn't really paying much attention. And, as usual, the party secretary, a lady, was talking, screaming at us, saying that we should pay no attention to what's going on in Poland, and our job is to study, and anybody who does otherwise will get in trouble. And while this going on, suddenly I noticed some commotion on the speaker's stand, where, by the way, are maybe a dozen penguins. We call them penguins, the DIS leaders, the communist youth leaders, because they all wore blue jackets and red neckties. And you could distinguish them not only by their dress, but also because they were all fat, or almost that, while we were all skinny. So anyway, I see that the penguins are surrounding somebody and are pushing that person. Later on, I learned that it was Tamás Kis, the delegate from Szeged, and we could barely hear his voice saying, "I want to speak." And at that point I kind of woke up, because nothing like that ever happened in any communist-controlled meeting. Just 3,000 people there. The military department's officers are standing on one side, and you know that you just don't do things like that. And in that quiet, because everybody was very surprised, I hear a voice saying, "Let him speak." And that was János Donner. Later he died. And again, we thought that Jancsi was out of his mind, because you do something like that, and that's the end of your engineering career. You will never graduate, if you are lucky and don't end up in jail. After that, I hear a single clap somewhere out of this mass of 3,000 students, and then another, and another. And then I feel the elbow of Laci Zsindely in my side. He turns to me, says, "If you don't clap, I'll never talk to you again." And we start clapping. Thunders, like waves moving through water. And then I see Jancsi Donner stand up and start moving towards the speaker's stand. And a number of us get up and follow him. And there is a little bit of struggle on the speaker's stand. Eventually we overcome the penguins. The party secretary during that time is screaming in the microphone that anybody who doesn't get back will be kicked out. And eventually Tamás, the delegate from Szeged, gets to the mic, had to lower the mic because he was much shorter than, and starts speaking. And this is maybe 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in that afternoon. So as far as going to the movies, it's over. But it is just beginning. And after those 10 points from the students in Szeged, people start coming up with other recommendations, and Budapest is a mystical city because through some unexplainable way, the news that this is going on at the Technical University of Budapest spreads through the city. And I say by 6 o'clock we have people coming from the Writers' Union, the Petőfi Circle, workers, and the demands get more and more away from student matters and more into the more important topics. And then I'd say at about 8 o'clock, a young student gets to the microphone who was stuttering. And he says, could the Russians get out? And there is scared silence in the auditorium, because we know that that kid is going to be taken away by the secret police right away, and so on. And at that point, in the back somewhere, I hear a lady's voice, a young girl's. She started to sing the national anthem. And that too spread through the audience. The windows were shaking, and I think that was the instant when the revolution started.